So this person left a comment on my feed telling somebody that, the polls have just turned in favor of Pierre. The liberal corruption and disastrous politics have not went unnoticed by Canadians. PP is going to get a majority, and then he babbles something else. Anyways, so I asked them, like, what poll, right? Because, I'm always curious, like, maybe the polls have changed or whatever, like, okay. So they told me innovative research. So I went and looked up, and National Post, which, by the way, is a right-leaning, media company in Canada, posted about the poll. So went and looked. Okay, so here's the National Post article. That popped up when I looked up innovative research in their polls. And it says, for the first time in the 2025 election campaign, a poll has emerged showing that the Conservatives are out in the lead. Okay. And it even says down here, a just published survey by Innovative Research, apparently this was published on April 2nd, had the Tories at 38% to the Liberals 37%. So they are correct. There is a poll showing. Now, here's where it gets a little complicated. And I do want to point out again, this is a right-leaning media company in Canada. So they generally don't post anything, in favor of the Liberals. That's not true because they don't like the Liberals. Sorry, my glasses. Okay. So there's the part at the bottom. It says, although the results would likely translate into a Liberal minority government, it's the first of more than 24 polls published since March 23rd, start of the campaign that had the Tories out front. So there you go. So despite the fact that you told me the poll, and you are correct about the poll shows that if it stays where it is, it's going to result in the Liberals getting a minority government. It's not in the Conservatives getting majority. So I appreciate you showing me this, and I've provided the evidence. But even the National Post, who doesn't like the Liberals, said that it's still going to result in the Liberals getting a minority. The Conservatives would have to have a massive swing back in their favor for them to end up with a majority government or even a minority government at this point. Like, the polls right now, most of them are showing that people are still voting Liberal. The NDP lost a large chunk of their supporters because they all went Liberal. That's the thing about living in a country where you've got mostly like left-leaning parties, is that when people are willing to work together to stop a Conservative party that they think is bad for Canada, which I agree, they're bad, we can all just pool our votes together and defeat a Conservative government. So, sorry, but it's most likely not going to be a Conservative majority. Maybe there's still a chance that it could be a Conservative minority. I mean, people have to get out and vote and have their voices heard. I'm not saying like yeah, no problem, Liberals, because they're not that far ahead. But I don't see it ever being a Conservative majority at this point. There would have to be some major event to cause the swing to go way back in the Conservative direction. And right now, Donald Trump isn't going to shut up. These tariffs are not going away. And this is not going to... Sorry, that's my phone. This is not all going to clear up within a month. And this is what's causing most people to vote Liberal, is Donald Trump and the tariffs. So unless Donald Trump magically goes away tomorrow, along with all of his tariffs, I don't see the voters swinging back towards the Conservatives, not in masses. So this person on my last post about the polls showing an increase for Conservatives, they said you can also check Abacus. Also, furthermore, the loss of the 30K jobs in March will not help Carney either. Now, I'll get to the second part in a minute, but it's funny that you say check Abacus too, because same article. So again, like, it's talking about various polls. We got the Nanos poll, Post Media Ledger poll, both showing the Liberals still having a massive lead. And then here it says, it talks about the innovative research poll, and it said, aside from that poll, the only other point of light for the Tories has been the Abacus data poll published Sunday, which showed the Liberals and Conservatives have tied at 39%. So you are correct. The Abacus poll, too, showing a tie right now. It says, given the efficiency of the Liberal voters, however, Abacus noted, that the pollers themselves noted that a tie is effectively a Liberal victory. Okay, so now getting to the second part. They're saying, furthermore, the loss of the 33K jobs in March will not help Carney either. Here's the thing. Not Carney's fault. Not Carney's fault, because all of these jobs, the experts have said it's because of the tariffs. So Trump and his tariffs have caused massive uncertainty in Canada. A lot of companies, because of the on and off of his tariffs, which of course now we know they're here and they're staying for quite a while, caused a lot of companies to kind of just react and lay off a bunch of people. I mean, we're going to see, unfortunately, more jobs lost because of this. But this is not a Carney issue. Even if you want to say, oh, well, he didn't, it's Trudeau. March is still Trudeau's monkey and circus. Like, it's not Carney's quite yet. You want to blame Carney going down the road, go right ahead, right? Because now he's the one that's dealing with Trump. But March, those jobs and stuff, they're still a reflection of Trudeau's government, not Carney's government. And frankly, like, nobody is going to get away with being unscathed from what's going on in the United States right now. I mean, he just put tariffs on pretty much the entire world. We're just lucky that we really didn't get a lot of new ones. I mean, the auto sector ones are all going to be felt. Windsor plant there has already said that they're shutting down for 2 weeks. So there's going to be more job losses, but this is not because of Carney. The sole responsibility is with Trump, because you're going to see the rest of the world are going to feel these effects as well. I mean, Mexico is going to be harmed by this because of the auto tariffs. Any other country that is, trying to import vehicles into the United States, they're going to have problems. I mean, this is not just a Canadian-based thing. So anybody that wants to sit there and say, oh, well, look at Carney. No, it's not Carney. Because then you're going to have to blame every other single leader around the world for when they get hit with the backlash from all of these tariffs that were announced yesterday. So